Welcome to Hoss and Pfeffer Garage. This time we've got my 2001 Ford F-250 Super Duty Super Cab 4-wheel drive 7.3 liter Powerstroke diesel. I call it the OG 73. We're going to talk about its history, kind of the things that it's been through, how I got it, and what our plans are for it. So with that, come along. So I acquired this truck from the previous owner. It was one of those, if you can start it, you can have it deals. So upon inspection of the vehicle, it would turn over, but wouldn't start. Started investigating under the hood and noticed that some of the local wildlife of the rodent variety had built a domicile, more like a condominium complex under the hood. So once the eviction process had taken place, I was able to get in and inspect the wiring and found some wires that had been chewed and were not flowing electrons. So and kudos to the rodents. They're very cunning in their means of strategically chewing through wires. They don't chew in the middle of the wire, right, where it's easily butt spliced back together. Therefore, the truck runs, right? They're much more strategic than that. So they chew right at the connector, essentially chewing off the back part of the connector, therefore making it much more difficult for you to repair said wire and move their domicile. So that took a little bit of doing, but was able to accomplish that. The truck, once that was repaired, truck fired right up, was fine, and it's run great ever since. Everything pretty much works on it. I did have to do some replacing some more wiring and switches and things like that over the last 20 some odd years have deteriorated and stopped functioning just from lack of use. But it's running well, and even the air conditioning works, which is vital at this part of the planet for that to function. So moving on to the exterior, it is over 20 years old, so therefore to the average onlooker, this may look like hail damage and clear coat damage and paint chips and battery explosion and country boy pinstripes and dents and dings and driving by feel, but that would be for the untrained eye. But to those in the know, given the age of this vehicle, it has since evolved into a term called patina. So what you're actually looking at here, all of this that you think is ugly looking and dents and dings and all of that, that's actually part of the character of this vehicle, also known as patina, right? So just food for thought, right? Just so you know, the next time you happen upon something that, man, just looks like a total turd, if given the age of the vehicle, that may be patina. So just be aware of that next time you're looking at a particular vehicle. So, but anyway, moving on. The truck, 259,000 miles. It was used to tow, haul, off-road. I mean, it did not have an easy life. It was used as a truck, and it's the patina shows that, and a lot of stories. That's one thing. I guess at some point, how you know, it evolves into a patina. At some point, everything on here is a story. It's not just a vehicle that just sat and deteriorated, um, but you know, every one of these flaws is a story, and I. I was part of some of those stories. I may or may not have been involved in some of the dents and dings, but the truck has held up well, I think. And from 50 feet, it doesn't look too bad. So uh, we're just gonna it's never been in a garage. It lives in my shop now, and it's kind of out of its element. It's never been inside before, so I think it's trying to get used to that a little bit to some extent. But we're we're going to move on around the truck and maybe tell a little more about it and some of its stories. On the side here, you can kind of get a better look at the battery explosion. Now most folks would try to clean that up when it happened and try to prevent this. But the previous owner, being the forward thinker that he is, decided, you know what, at some point this battery explosion is going to turn into patina. Therefore, I shall leave it and let it ride, and it will contribute to the patina in the future. Um, Not sure if that concept really works or not, but it is what it is, and that's what I've got. The wheels, the clear coat on the wheels had discolored quite a bit, so I stripped that, then polished, did some polishing on them. There's still some flaws in it, but they look a whole lot better than they did. Also did a 1-inch shackle in the front to help level it out a little bit, and I think it looks a little bit better. Um, and then we have the side mirrors. I replaced those with the towing mirrors. The original Dumbo ear mirrors were terrible. My Mustang has better mirrors on it, and you couldn't see anything out of them. So replace those. These are just some inexpensive mirrors off Amazon. They do good enough. They're definitely not factory, but they're not bad. Uh, and this being inexpensive, kind of a budget uh, project, they're fine. One of the complaints that I read was that the mirror shakes going down the road, which it does. But I'm just trying to see cars. I'm not trying to read legal documents or anything going down the road. So it suffices. You'll see, like there's some dents and some flaws. I'm not sure if you can pick up you can see some of the country boy pinstripes along here. There was no regard given to brush or tree limbs or anything like that with this vehicle. The previous owner he just sent it, so you can kind of see some of those. It did clean some of it up when I did the polishing and whatnot, but it brightened it up quite a bit. And like I said, from 50 feet, it's actually not a bad looking truck. Um, but tinted the windows. Originally, there was a zero tint on this truck. Everything was just bare glass, and it was like driving around in a fishbowl. So, got some window tint in there, helped quite a bit, especially with the heat in this geographical location. So, it's helped quite a bit in that aspect as well. Had an extra toolbox laying around, so I threw it on there, and got some back here. At some point, someone had actually crashed into the side of the truck here and folded up the rear fender. So I straightened that out. The previous owner just let it ride, was his typical MO. And so straightened that out best I could. It's obviously not perfect, but it kind of fits with the rest of the vehicle. Also a dent here just in front of the tail light. I may or may not have been involved in that. Um, but tail lights, replace the tail lights. They were looking kind of ragged, so wanted those nice and bright also, and I got those changed out. Also did some auxiliary backup lights, so I could back up down my driveway at night. Um, you're looking inside the bed. Obviously it's got a gooseneck hookup, and you can tell the bed was used quite a bit. So on this side, same kind of story with the fender. Similar. The tire blew out and came apart, slung into the rear fender, and bent, folded it all up. So again, just went in there and straightened it out best as I could. It's not perfect, you can see, but again, it follows along with the character of the truck. One of the other things that was pretty time consuming was the previous driver had driven through the yellow road paint and had splattered yellow road paint all down the side of the truck, both sides. So that took some time to remove, just because, like I said, it probably happened 10 years ago, and the previous owner was not concerned with such things. So he just let it ride, and so it took some time to break that down and get it off. You probably actually still see some remnants up here in the fender well a little bit, but you know, uh, it's better now. So up front, really the only thing that I've done is swap out the headlights, put some new headlights in it. Uh, got the fog lights, the original fog lights working, and the off-road lights. I haven't got those wired up yet. Still trying to decide whether or not I like them. I might pull them off. But the stainless bumper guard was on there when I got it. Just kind of cleaned everything up, and it looks pretty good. Like I said, just trying to decide what to do with the off-road lights. So in the interior, kind of the same story. I don't think it had ever been cleaned in 20 some odd years. You could grow taters on the floorboard and daffodils on the dash. But I got all that cleaned up. Actually, it was kind of one of those extreme detailing things that you see sometimes. I pulled the seats out, pulled the carpet up, pulled all the trim, door panels, everything out of it. There was dirt dauber nests and all kinds of stuff in here. But I got everything cleaned up. Looks pretty good, and just I got some inexpensive floor mats for the front and the rear, and I had these seat covers, these inexpensive seat covers laying around that I threw in here to just kind of maybe get the light gray interior to last a little bit longer. But the console, everything came out. So but like I said, everything works in here. Um, the I had to work through the cruise control. Come to find out, the cruise control is actually tied into the brake uh, circuit. So there's some brake issues that I worked through, and then the uh, side mirror remote switch had to be replaced. I replaced that. The door lock on the driver's side was actually wired backwards from the factory, so lock was unlock and unlock was lock. So I got that swapped around so it works correctly now. The truck is a 6-speed manual, which I love. And of course, this is the 7.3 liter Powerstroke diesel. This is one of the latest iterations before they decided to screw everything up and change motors. But it's stock. I did a air cleaner, but that's it. Had to repair some of the wiring underneath and vacuum lines, like I talked about with the rodent residents that were living in here. But it's been running great. It is loud, obviously. The 7.3s are pretty loud. Definitely got to shut off at the drive-through, but you know, that's all part of it. Probably going to be replacing the H-pop lines, the turbo pedestal, up pipes, things like that. Like I said, it does have some leaks that are pretty common, but it's other than that, it's a pretty good truck. So we're gonna see how many miles we can get out of this thing. At 259,000, it's just about broke in. So that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if there's anything you'd like to see on the OG73, leave in the comments below. And we'll catch you next time.